Created by Polish sculptor Paul Landowski and George Leonida, standing some 30 meters high, and that's excluding the 8-meter plinth underneath. Standing on a mountain called Corcovado, with arms stretched out 28 meters wide, is the Christ the Redeemer statue. A most incredible and fascinating statue. And why I love it is to think of Rio de Janeiro is to think of the Christ Redeemer statue, because Christ looks over the city with his arms open wide. In a way, it represents that Christ looks over every city and every town and every village with his arms stretched open wide. Now, when we look at the story of Calvary, central to the story of Calvary is not the cross, but the Christ of the cross. And we're going to journey with this Christ, and the world has to journey with this Christ. Not because you're Christian or you're not Christian, but this is such a massive figure. There's never been a person in history that's been more talked about than Christ. There have been more statues, more books. There's whole movements. A third of the world follows this Christ. Now, it doesn't matter where you are, because for some people, they still build their life around Christ. They do everything they can to ignore him, which in Rio is very difficult with a massive statue there. For some people, they hate that Christ and hate what he represents. For some people, they have Jesus, but it's a diminished form of Jesus with no power. A Jesus that died and stayed dead. But for Christians, we worship a living Christ. And journeying to Calvary is journeying with that Christ. Central to Calvary is Christ, but something even more. The love of Christ. Right through this whole story is one simple thing. What motivated Christ was his love for us. And so as we engage on this journey and go on this journey, we want to just notice that Romans chapter 8, verse 37 says, "Now in all things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us." It goes on to say, it doesn't matter how high or wide or deep or whatever you go, Christ loves you. The Christ Redeemer statue is massive. But knowing that Christ went through all of that because he loves you, well, that's even bigger. No statue could ever represent it. God with his arms open wide, reaching out to the world and reaching out to you because he loves you too. God bless.